Hello there, Servum17 once again. This is my Call of Juarez Gunslinger True West difficulty video walkthrough. This is going to be chapter 1. This is the mission off the demo, if anybody picked it up before buying. And as you can see, it's just some quick shooting with your 6-shooter, which is the first pistol you're going to start with, which is not too bad at all, and it's going to be introducing you to the concept of, you know, being a cowboy in Techland's Call of Juarez series. These first few fights, you'll probably take them a little slower than I do, because I'm a little stupid when I play games. I just, you know, I get aggressive, I see if it works, I see if I can find strategies that involve breaking spawns or pushing spawns or just getting myself into an advantageous position. And I'm not too sure how much this game costs. I think it's 1,200 Microsoft points, which I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to paying that kind of money on an Xbox Live game. I liked them when they were 800. You know, it felt like it was a decent price for a decent package. And the games are bigger now and much more fully realised, so I suppose they have to put them up. But you know, 1,200 is a lot, and this game is totally worth it. I'm not going to say that the price is too much for what you get. It's definitely value for money. It's just, where does it end, man? You know, with the inflation, it's going to be like the fucking bus fares, where I can remember getting on the bus for 15p. The other day I paid like 4 quid. You know, there's a big difference in bus fares. It just keeps going up, like everything else, like taxes and all the other fun stuff in life. And it's going to be the same with this, because they'll probably get rid of Microsoft points and just have it as money, but the price will continue to escalate because it's just how things work. But on this early sequence here, the tips are pretty simple. You know, stay in cover as much as you can. Try to aim for the head. The headshots are going to help you the most. And as soon as you take some damage, go back into cover, let it regenerate. One thing I don't like about the game is the actual damage screen that comes up when you get shot. I just don't aesthetically like it at all. It bugs me. This is an interesting one where you put your aimer on people, and when you shoot, your bullets don't hit them sometimes. So one of the things you're going to be getting used to when you play this game is the concept of the aim is interesting. It's not bad. I think the aiming is good. I just think at times it can feel a little bit imprecise. Especially when an enemy is moving. Shooting a moving target on this game seems to be very difficult for me. And a lot of it is my aim, you know. One thing I will say here is, these first few videos, my aim's going to be so off, it's not even going to be funny, so you're going to see some pretty terrible shooting. But later on, you know, when I start to get back what I had when I was playing the game, you know, I get a little bit sharper with the trigger finger. And for a little trivia for some people, anybody who's curious, this is the first recording of a guide that I live streamed, so there were people watching me while I did this entire game, which was a fun experience. We got to interact and stuff. And if you see me stand still for any random reason, it probably means I was reading the chat or responding to something that got said. And that's something I don't normally do, because when I do a guide, I generally go into like a business mode where I sit down and I just try and power it out. And with this one, it was a different experience, and I assume people enjoyed it because I got about 25 people who stayed to watch the full thing, which is always a nice figure for me on Twitch, because I don't get the highest numbers of people watching there. But when you play this game on the normal difficulty, or on hard even, you're going to notice a lot of differences. For instance, on True West, the HUD is completely gone, and it does add the immersion. It does. I like no HUD, but at the same time, there's a lot of valuable information that I'm missing out on. Right there as well, be careful when you're behind that stack. I was crouched then, guys, when I was still taking shots, and I got kind of pissed off if you want to know what the response was, because I was in cover crouched and I was still taking damage. I'm like, this is some serious shit right here. And what it is your character will scale objects. It's like an auto mantle thing, so I was walking up the sticks and I was sticking my head out of cover effectively so that guy could shoot me. And you'll notice it went into a mode where it focuses on them, and then a bullet travels towards you, which you have to dodge with the left analog. And what that is, you have this concentration meter, and when that is full, you can survive a bullet that would normally kill you. That's kind of what they big it up to be, but a lot of the times it seems to be kind of strange. Like, I didn't get insta-killed on this recording at all. Every time I died, it was either from a handful of bullets, or from a fall, or being silly. And this is me messing about with my stream right now, guys, so hopefully this isn't too long. Because I streamed this first part, and nobody was watching because I wasn't actually streaming. I was having problems with XSplit, because it's a piece of shit and I hate it. But back to the game. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to kill as many guys as we can and get in the house. Once you've killed the guys, you're allowed in the house. There you go. Get inside and meet Billy the Kid. And if you're going to have any problems with this first mission, it's picking up ammo. You have to pick up ammunition because you can actually run out of ammo, which is a very viable risk. And you need to avoid that, because I did get into a spot here where I had no rounds. And the melee combat on this game it's just not worth your time on this difficulty, because you're just going to get smashed. They can one-shot you from a melee, you need to hit them 2 times to kill them. It's not very fair. But there are 3 separate upgrade paths that you can pursue. One of them is a gunslinger, I think, which is the dual-wieldy guy. The other one is a rifleman, and then the last one is a trapper, which is your shotguns, your up-close range, and all that kind of stuff. So this sequence here, you get introduced to your rifle, clip some heads, use the cover, regenerate, just practice your shooting, try and get your aim down. Which can be quite tricky, because this game allows you to customize the dead angle of the analog. And that is an interesting thing to do, because the dead angle is essentially the amount of resistance you have to put on the analog before it will move. And a lot of games calibrate this differently, so if you ever wonder why the aiming feels slightly different in certain games, it's all down to how they've calibrated the dead angle. And on here, they allow you to adjust it, which is really interesting, I thought. And when I first turned the game on, my analogs are so knackered that my guy was constantly strafing his aim. The dead zone was just too sensitive, and it was spinning all the time. It was unplayable. I couldn't play at all, so I had to adjust it, because anybody who's watched me play a game or listened to my walkthroughs in the past will know I play on the highest sensitivity I can. My logic for this is, if I can aim the fastest, I can get on target the fastest. And sure, at first it's going to be really tricky until I get used to it, but it gives me a benefit for turning around when I'm being shot to kill the people shooting me, and it also, it makes me faster. And, there are times when I think it's a bad idea, there are times when I think it's a brilliant idea. It's a preferential thing. But on this game, at full sensitivity with the standard dead zone, I just couldn't do it. I really couldn't. And I think I said dead angle earlier thanks to Dark Souls, so do bear with me. So if you're having issues with the aiming, try and adjusting the dead zone, see if it helps, because it definitely helped for me. It made it so that I could actually aim without the gun aiming at itself. Now on this sequence here, what will happen is every so often in the game, it's going to freeze and it's going to give you some quick time events. They're not too challenging, but it's one of those things where you can mess them up because human nature dictates that we do make mistakes. And there's going to be a couple of breach moments like this, where it's going to slow down for a certain period of time so you can clip some guys. You also have a bullet time bar that is increased by killing people and getting high combos. This is something that you want to use when you're in trouble. I prefer to save it until I need it, so I intentionally don't use it all that often. But once again, it's entirely up to you. If you have it, use it. Because I find myself never using it. The only time I really use it is for the bosses. And I was saving it for times when I got into spots of bother. And then I never really got into those spots. So I would definitely say use it, because you're just going to lose it. And back to what I was saying earlier too. When you do have the HUD, you'll see points when you're shooting people, and every time you kill in rapid succession, you get combos, and the higher the combos, the more points. The more points you get, the more experience you get. So it actually pays dividends to, try and be aggressive. Try and be aggressive, try and get those headshots. I fucked this up big time, because I put my rifle on instead of my pistol. And that is a sequence there where you can kill all those people while you're falling, and then land and they're all dead. And if you do it the first time, you'll even get an achievement for doing it. But you'll see, I had a rifle on. The rifle doesn't fire fast enough for me to pull that off. So I put myself in shit creek right there. And I did have a paddle in the form of, my gun skill and my ability to not die, which can be random at times. But as long as you're using cover, as long as you're remembering to crouch if your cover's not great, and as long as you're pretty quick on your trigger finger, you shouldn't have too much issue, especially with this beginning level. The game as a whole is not too difficult. On my recording run, I think I died maybe 5 times, which for a game such as this, a first-person shooter on its hardest setting, I expect to die an average of about that per level, so I was really surprised. But you can see up there, we already have 38,000 experience, we've got 6 levels, which is 6 points to invest. So a couple of abilities I would say are worthwhile. One of them on the Trapper is the ability to this one, Crusader's Armour, Close Combat Resistance. It enables you to take a bullet more than you normally would every 4th bullet fired. Another thing that I really like is Eagle Eye, because I'm the type of dude who fights like a ranger. I'm going to use range against the computer. I'm going to sit at a distance, I'm going to snipe. So it just makes a lot of sense, because if you commit to an upgrade path, it will give you a unique weapon that is better for that path. So for me, it's going to be a rifle and a revolver. This is the quick draw mechanic. At this point, you can only use the right analog, so don't worry about all the other nuance. Just keep it on him as much as you can. As soon as you hear the heartbeat, on the 4th heartbeat, it's when he pulls. So you want to count it off, you know, dun 1, dun 2, dun 3, then pull, and usually you'll win. And anybody wondering why the screen is frozen like this, I actually turned the narration off, because as much as I kind of liked the story, I felt the narrator was too much. It was an interesting way to convey information and to do exposition, but it just got to the point where it was really bugging me and interrupting me too. It was putting me off when I was playing. Like, you're shooting a bunch of guys, and then I came out of the tavern and I shot 2 more guys, and it was such a nice day, and I saw a horse and then a fly, and it's like, dude, stop fucking talking, bro. I'm trying to shoot people. I'm trying to be Clint Eastwood, and you're being Joe Pesci in Lethal Weapon, you know. But thank you for watching anyhow, guys, and welcome to the guide. Hopefully you'll stick with it till the end. It should be a fun one, and you take care.